CRS. What does that stand for?
Certified Residential Specialist.
And what are really the thresholds for admission?
Basically, you have to, yeah, that's an interesting question because we have to acquire a certain amount of credits, certified residential specialist credits. So, in fact, in order to obtain that designation, I ended up going to Pennsylvania for 2 days to take a 2-day course there. And that was also just part of the educational process. But it's it's just learning more about the that particular subject. I can actually it'll further enable me to help my sellers. My ultimate goal for both the buyers and sellers, for buyers, is to obtain the best and lowest price I can for them for a property, and for my sellers, it's my goal to obtain the highest price I can for them in any given market. And marketing is very important, and I'd like to feel that I am a marketing specialist.
And that's ideally what everyone would do. I'm impressed by your commitment to your profession and the contributions you make to your industry through the acquisition of those designations and even participation in REVamp. We've taken. Let me let you know that I've taken some of the important parts of these designations in the context of REVamp, in that. As you may have noticed, Gay, there is a complete void in our industry for local real estate business education. It seems that there are, of course, the NAR conferences, the specialty conferences, the private conferences. It seems to be a lot of presentation and really no conversation. Recently, I explained that we are offering the software out. By that I mean people can sign contracts and have their groups across the country. And someone said to me with a straight face, well, how are you going to get the trainers there? And I said, what trainers? The realtors are the trainers. So someone thought I would have to fly individuals from out of state to plop in. Isn't that kind of crazy?
It doesn't make sense because, you know, for instance, at our forgetting the barbecue because that was a fun evening, but the meeting prior to there, we were discussing social SEO, which is a social
search engine optimization.
Thank you.
I got it. Even
search engine optimization. And so we had people discussing all of their experiences and how they utilize SEO. And it was just a very sharing of information and experiences and what we all do to make the most of that. And is it beneficial? And it's interesting because, I mean, obviously you were there, Scott, but people felt that it wasn't as, some aspects like blogging weren't as beneficial now as perhaps they were once thought to be, because it took too much time away from real estate. So I think that one of the points that were made that evening was that you have to do what is right for you, what time allows for you, and what works for you. And I think that sort of came across, and no one should sort of feel like it's a homework, assignment. SEO is sort of there to enhance your business. And but it has to work for you, more importantly.
So let me ask you. So I mean, that is a labor of love. Let me ask you this: you say it works for your business. That means to say that gets you a chance to connect with more strangers, people who might need your services. Is that almost like a prospecting tool?
In a sense, again, like that gentleman who had called me earlier today, he had actually called me a year ago after I was able, through my marketing efforts, to have one of my listings featured in the Journal News, a 3-page spread, which was wonderful. And I had worked very hard to do that. And I do that the same for all of my listings. I try to publicize them as much as I can. And he had called me and had commented what a great article it was about the listing. And now today, for instance, there is a Myrtle Boulevard in Larchmont. There is a show, like music. And I had written a blog post about it, advertising it, a little concert. And when he was sort of like plugging into Google to see what was happening in Larchmont tonight, mine was the 8th blog post down in the list on the first page. And he said, oh my goodness, there's Gay. So he called me just to comment on the fact that he saw my post, to say hello. And so, you know, it's sort of a way of communicating to people. But forgetting him, he's like at this point a friend. Other people who are searching for someone who knows about the area will read these blog posts and will realize that they, you know the area, they know what's happening in the area, and so that perhaps and hopefully they'll call you to represent them in a purchase in the area. And that's where the posting comes into play.
Mm-hmm.